on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558.
All new on Travel Channel.
We're the Ghost Brothers,
A team of paranormal investigators
helping frightened families find peace
in their haunted homes.
My dream home has become my nightmare.
We gotta help this family.
And use our expertise.
Whatever's in there is dark.
Shed some light on these dark spirits. What the heck is going on in y'all's house, bro?
Move over, Ghosts.
We're moving in.
All new Ghost Brothers, Haunted House Guests. Friday at 9 on Travel Channel.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news? You can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
We'll see you soon.
The filters are coming off.
Even though we haven't met, I fell in love. I couldn't help it.
I've sent $40,000.
Michael wants me to have a baby. Ready to open my heart again.
I really thought she was catfishing me.
I'm risking it all.
You're crazy.
There's so much on the line. It's kind of hitting me.
Before the 90 days, all new, Sunday at 8 on TLC.
Watch TLC, GVTC, Channel 553.
A million homes destroyed, people living in shelters and subway stations.
As German bombs rain from above,
It creates the perfect environment for criminality.
the criminal underworld flourished below.
Bombed out buildings are a great place to dispose of bodies.
We were fighting the police state, Nazi Germany, and yet we had to create one.
Poverty-bred crime.
Wartime crime. On AHC.
The basket is the great equalizer.
Never even seen this before.
Curveball.
Nobody would eat this.
To be the best or consider the best, you have to win against the best.
I've been preparing for it my whole life.
Who's the best chef in the room? We're going to witness greatness.
All new, Chopped, Tuesday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC, Channel 563.
Back live at Hawk Stadium here on the campus of Canyon Lake High School. Jeff Gandy and yours truly, Roland J. Reese, with you. Getting set to bring you the Battle of the Backbone 2019 in Canyon Lake. We're getting set for kickoff. The Wimberley Texans will receive to start the ball game this evening.
Well, here we go.
And Nash Young gets his foot into the football. This will be handled on the far side of the field. It's number 17, Juan Olmedo, with the opening kickoff. He'll be wrapped up just shy of the 25-yard line. And that's where the Texans and quarterback Cooper McCullum will go to work.
Well, Ken, if you're Coach Doug Warren, you want your offense to come out on the field and establish the tempo of the game, march down the field and get out of this bad field position. This is how the game always starts. You're going to see who's going to be showing up to play or not.
Two receivers either side for quarterback Cooper McCullum on a 1st and 10. McCullum takes a snap, looks near side, has a man across the 30, down to near the 35-yard line. Goes his receiver Colby Goforth.
That's pretty easy, just basically pass and catch right there, and Goforth had nobody on him. Looked like the Hawks were playing deep 2 zone, and all the Goforth had to do is go basically to 8 yards and turn around and wait for the football. That's just easy pass and catch.
And that moved the chains already at the 36-yard line, the Texan 36. It's another 1st and 10 for Wimberley. Two receivers to the far side, single receiver near side for quarterback McCullum. Decides to keep it himself, crosses the 30, just shy of the 40-yard line rather, before he'll be met there and dropped it in on the stop. Kyle Ewell for the Canyon Lake Hawks.
Yeah, and we mentioned on the beginning of the broadcast is that McCullum will run the football, and that time it was the design quarterback keep with the pulling guard in front of him. But the Hawks did a pretty good job for only a 2-yard gain.
Second down, they're calling it just about 7. From about the 38-yard line, McCullum makes a handoff. This time, handoff coming to Olmedo. He'll be wrapped up. Good defensive pursuit once again by Canyon Lake. Is over to make the stop from his cornerback position. That was Stephen Sharp.
Yeah, really good pursuit about that time by middle linebacker Daniel Neal, too, Roland. He came from the backside and actually got to the runner before he was able to cut upfield. Great job by the middle linebacker.
That'll bring up a third down. They're calling it 3rd and 7. Once again, the line of scrimmage is the Wimberley 39-yard line. One in tight this time. We got a single receiver to the near side. McCullum takes the snap, a quick out. This one caught and dropped immediately. Goes a wide receiver, Colby Boyle. Or correction, that'll be Josh Limely, the wide receiver. And that'll bring up a 4th down for the Texans.
Well, McCullum's favorite receiver is Limely, but that time the safety, Stephen Sharp, came up quickly and made a nice open field tackle. That's the way you want to start the football game, basically going just 1 first down, and now the Texans have to punt the football.
On to punt this one away and waving everybody off is Patrick Almond. We'll certainly hear from that young man this evening, I'm sure, for Canyon Lake, as he's gotten some great reviews over the last couple of games. It'll be Hawk football. 1st and 10. Looks like the line of scrimmage will be, well, they're going to call this about the
34, I guess.
There it is. That's where they spotted, 34-yard line.
I'm going to keep it. Go ahead, Roland.
No, we'll see what Peyton McCullum, the quarterback, has in store as they break the huddle quickly. 1st and 10. McCullum hands off straight ahead.
That was Vietrick.
That was Vietrick with a carry.
Yeah.
Bangs out across the 35, down to around the 38-yard line. Pickup of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, I like what the Hawks do. They break the huddle quickly and get to the line of scrimmage quickly. The linemen are in full-point stance, and they just get after you.
2nd and 6 this time to give to the far side, and getting across the 40-yard line goes Nick Rivera before he'll be stopped at about the 41-yard line.
Well, the formation dictated it looked like it was going to be another quick pop to Vietrick, but they handed it to that time to Rivera on the sweep. But good inside-out pursuit by the Texan defense, stopped him with only 1-yard gain.
Schrader over to make the stop for Wimberley. That'll bring up a big 3rd and 3 for Canyon Lake. So once again, they break huddle. Here's the snap to give straight ahead. This is Vietrick. Nothing doing there. As the middle of that Wimberley Texans line just tightened up and made the stop.
That was interesting. They had tackle over to the boundary, and then they motioned to the boundary, so you had all the flow of the offensive formation to one side of the football, and yet they ran a trap play, and it did not fool the Texan defense.
Jake Milam in on the stop that time for Wimberley. Now bring up a 4th down punting situation for Canyon Lake. This punt handled at about the 40-yard line. Still on his feet goes the return man. And didn't see a marker down. This should be a Wimberley touchdown. Or was there a flag down?
There's a flag on the far side.
Okay.
That was a great run by Jeremy Potts, number 18 for the Texans, but it looks like this is going to be coming back.
We'll check and see what this penalty is all about. Just underway, 7:17 left to go in the first quarter. And we are scoreless.
Looked like it was good execution on the punt return by Potts, but apparently one of the Texan return blockers was holding just a tad bit on the far sideline. Referee saw it. Yellow hanky comes out. Unfortunately, a touchdown now is negated.
That's a holding on the return. Hawk faithful love it. We get this sorted out, see where the ball will be placed.
A little confusion, but well, I'll tell you what, that's just heartbreaking when you run a punt back for a touchdown, and now really you're starting at the 36-yard line in your own ends and in your own side of the field. I mean, that's just heartbreaking.
Right, in a game that's big, taking points off the board, never a good thing.
No.
So the Texans break huddle. They send 2 receivers out to the near side and 2 to the far side for quarterback Cooper McCullum. Here's the snap. McCullum dropping, looking over the middle. Has a man, and that once again is Potts, who hauls it in and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. So you take it away and you give it back on the next play.
That's how you do it. Jaden Potts ran all the punt back. Now you get him on a slant pass to the far side of the field, and he just takes it and runs, splits the safeties, and runs all the way for a touchdown.
Well, you know, I think the thing you've got to admire on that play was at least his presence of mind to stay with it and not let the previous play. It's like I once heard, win this snap, and the Texans certainly did at that point. 7:05 left to go in the first quarter. The extra point is up, and it's good. And with 7:05 left in the opening stanza, our score, Wimberley 7, Canyon Lake nothing. This is Hawks football on the Hawks Network.
Wednesdays, science shows you why bigger is better.
The magnitude of this building, it's an incredible marvel.
These guys don't think small.
Definitely a little more dangerous
when it comes to living large.
I've got the best job in the world.
Building giants, Wednesday at 9. Followed by monster ships at 10. On Science.
Watch Science. GVTC, Channel 518.
2, 1, here we go.
Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead.
In the car.
That close might get you on Race Hub.
Under the hood and hanging with the drivers.
A little love fest here. Gordon, Harvick, Canal, and of course the champ.
We've got the drama.
Get the heck out of the way.
The science.
2 levels of analysis and storytelling for the sport.
NASCAR Race Hub. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Back with you live at the campus of Canyon Lake High School following a 64-yard touchdown pass and catch from quarterback Cooper McCullum to Jaden Potts to put the Texans on the board. And that kickoff return handled by number 6, Tyler Pauly, who takes it out to, it's looking like they're going to spot this, we're at about the 15.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have fair caught that and get it at the 25, but he elected to go ahead and try to run the football, and he got basically horse tackled by Braden Martin, number 15 of the Texans, flying down the field. Looked like he came unblocked. So let's see what now the Canyon Lake Hawks, how they respond to the first blow. See if they can do it.
McMullen breaks the huddle on a 1st and 10 from their 15. Handoff straight ahead. That is Viatric down to around the 20-yard line. Nice pickup of about, I'll call it 5 yards before he's met there and wrapped up.
Man-to-man blocking up front, and that time good execution by the offensive line. Viatric had a nice hole right up the B-gap. Good for 5 yards.
Looks like Potts in on the stop that time for Wimberley. He's now checking into the game. Number 14, Colton Belcher. They break huddle, and Belcher comes flanked out to the near side. Rivera to the far side. And they're 2nd and 5. Here's McMullen rolling, unloads it. Just has to get rid of it. It was intended for Rivera as he was feeling pressure coming, and that'll bring up a 3rd down for Canyon Lake.
Yeah, unfortunately on that rollout, McMullen did have a lot of pressure that time by number 16. And trying to get that number, Cole Schroeder. Schroeder coming in from his linebacker position, did a nice job putting pressure. I tell you, this is a key 3rd down now. You don't want to get the football up deep in your territory. give it right back to the Texans, which seems to have a little bit of momentum going right now early in the ball game.
Ethan Slater checking out of the ball game on this 3rd and 5. Line of scrimmage is the 20-yard line. Everybody in tight for the Hawks. Here's a handoff across the 20 down to around the 23-yard line. Goes Ryan Ravali.
You got a late flag, too.
We'll check this.
We don't know if there's any extracurricular activity out of bounds or what, but that was a late flag by the line judge here on the home sideline.
We'll check this. As of yet, no indication, but he's pointing toward the defense, so here's the call.
Dead ball.
The defense.
Yeah.
Dead ball foul.
Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike on the defense. You know, Roland, I actually saw the left guard or the left tackle for the Hawks move early. I thought he was going to throw the flag on legal procedure, but I tell you, this is a blessing in disguise for a late hit out of bounds. Otherwise, they'd be punting the football away right now.
Well, the Canyon Lake 38-yard line is where they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Daniel Neal out to the right side. Here's a handoff coming inside to the Hawk running back before he's met there and dropped. And that is Rivera. On the stop that time is Ethan Lancaster for Wimberley, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
You know, the type of offense that the Hawks run is very difficult to defend if you're on the defensive side. There's a lot of misdirection going on with backs, but you know what? If you keep your key, and your keys are usually the offensive lineman, the lineman will typically tell you where the ball is going. And that time you had the right guard, number 74, Eric Tauch. He was pulling to his left, even though there's a lot of misdirection in the backfield. If you follow your keys, it'll basically lead you to where the ball is going.
Penalty apparently on Canyon Lake, as that's going to back this up to the 33-yard line and give the Hawks a 1st and 15. Checking into the ball game is Colton Cunningham. He's lined up to the near side on this 1st and 15. Here's the give. This is Rivera trying to find some room to the outside. And he'll pick up some yardage out to around the 41-yard line, and another penalty marker on the field.
And that's late again, too. Rivera did a nice job getting to the perimeter, but Blackburn was there to meet him. And I don't know if there was a face mask or something.
Well, we'll see what the call is. Our white cap is going to be very busy this evening, apparently. This is holding on Canyon Lake.
Well, that came late, too. You know, just when you get a big 1st down and get yourself out of your side of the football field and you're moving the football, you've had 2 straight penalties. I think that's what Coach Charlie Drum was just kind of frustrated about, how they got the players, they had the system, they just haven't been able to execute. And, of course, penalties been hurting them so far this game.
Absolutely. This backs it up to the 26-yard line. And it'll be 1st down for Canyon Lake. Green comes flanked out to the near side. On this 1st down, here's McMullen rolling. He gets wrapped up. He'll be stopped a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's over to make the stop that time. We'll get that young man's name. That was Rankin for Wimberley.
Yeah. Well, that time McMullen just did not have an opportunity to be able to set his feet to look downfield. He had actually a couple of receivers that were breaking open, but he had a lot of backside pursuit by number 34, Carrot Lay, a sophomore defensive end.
And that brings up a 2nd down. Going in tight for quarterback Peyton McMullen. He takes a snap, hands off, nice hole in the middle of the field as Nick Rivera takes the ball out to around the 31-yard line before he'll be wrapped up there. Walt Gold with the stop that time for Wimberley.
Another good time. That's that cross or counter play that looks like everything's going one direction, but the back comes back with the football the other direction. And that's been, I think right now, the Hawks' best best productivity in the play, in the play calling.
The Hawks have to get to the 48-yard line. Right now the ball is on the 31, so call it about 17, 3rd and 17, if my mathematical skills are correct.
You're correct.
Here's McMullen dropping back. Somebody didn't turn around that time, and the pass goes incomplete as it was intended for Jeremy Green. Now to bring up a 4th down for Canyon Lake.
Yeah, Jeremy Green was being guarded by Dalton Blackburn down the field, and Green just didn't look like he was able to turn around and look for the football when McMullen actually threw the pass. So now it's 3rd down and extremely long. And another penalty.
And another penalty on the play.
That's a big one right there. That's 15 yards.
Wow, this will spot the ball at the 46-yard line.
And an automatic first down.
Automatic first down moves the chains. It gives the Hawks the first down at their own 46. So their drive stays alive with 4:32 left to go in the first quarter. McMullen takes the snap, hands off straight ahead. This is Viatrek banging his way down to around midfield before he'll be met there. And the stop made, and on the stop that time was Rory Hughes for Wimberley.
There's nothing fancy about that play rolling. It's just man-to-man blocking straight up, and it's a quick trap play to Derek Viatrek right up the middle. But pretty good job by the middle linebacker, Novin Rankin, for the Texans, stepping up in there. Not after at least 4 yards were gained.
Jeremy Green checking back into the game. He'll line up to the near side on a 2nd down, call it 6. Here's the handoff on a delay. Getting back to the line of scrimmage goes the running back. Getting the football that time, I believe that was Slater.
Well, these safeties for the Texans are going to be really active here tonight. They know that they have to fill that D gap. Once their key tells them it's run, they have to commit and fill that D gap. And that time, number 11, Braden Wallace, did a nice job filling in to make the tackle.
Ravalli checking in for Slater right now on this 3rd and 6 from midfield. McMullen breaks huddle, and you can hear the Hawk faithful. Here's a handoff coming near side. This is Ravalli across midfield, down just shy of the Wimberley 40-yard line. He'll have more than enough for a Hawk first down.
Sweep into the boundary, and with a pulling guard, and just enough for to get the first down. That's a big first down now to keep the momentum going. Now for the Hawks offense.
Line of scrimmage is the Texan 42-yard line. Is now checking into the game is Daniel Neal. On this first down, McMullen. Mark signals, hands off. Straight ahead, I believe that is Ravalli once again as he bangs out across the 40 to about the 39-yard line. Before he'll be met there and dropped and in on the stop that time. That was Nova Rankin for Wimberley.
Yeah. There's just nothing fancy about that play. It's man-on-man blocking again, getting that trap. This time with Ravalli right up the B gap for 2 yards. Nothing fancy, but it does move the football.
2nd down for Canyon Lake. Here's the give. This time Rivera trying to find the corner to the outside and does. He bangs down close to the 35-yard line. They may give him just that. We'll see where they mark it. Is over to make the stop that time. That was Carson Minix from his tackle position.
Yeah. Well, you bang him hard in the middle, you go in the middle again, and you hit him wide. And that time, Rivera almost had enough to really cut up field and get the first down. And now he's going to be short by about 4 yards. 3rd and 4 for first down.
That's it. 2:08 left to go here in the first quarter. We're scoreless. 2 receivers to the near side for quarterback McMullen. Here's the give straight ahead. Nothing doing there as that defense closed down for Wimberley. Viatrek maybe gets a couple of tough yards. Is over to make the stop that time.
Well, there's no hesitation by no hesitation by head coach Charlie Drum. He's going for it.
4th and 2. Line of scrimmage is just inside the Wimberley 35-yard line. And the Hawk faithful on their feet. On this 4th and 2, here's McMullen calling signals. The pitch. Trying to find the corner is Rivera, still on his feet. He crosses the 35, and I think he's going to be stopped just shy. As over to make the stop was Dalton Blackburn.
That's a great play by Blackburn coming up and really forcing the play on Rivera, and Rivera had to have a chance to even cut and plant and go upfield. That was all a defensive great job that time, Dalton Blackburn.
Well, they're going to give the Wimberley Texans their own 35-yard line to start their offensive drive, 1st and 10. So far, as you mentioned, it has been both teams trying to get a feel for each other. Cooper McCullum, the quarterback, takes a snap. He's looking downfield, unloads, has a man.
Is that Potts again?
That is Potts once again. Potts has definitely been his favorite receiver as that pass is complete down to the Canyon Lake 35-yard line for a Texan first down.
I'll tell you what, that McCullum had all day long to sit back there and wait for Potts to make his break, and it was an 8-9 route, a post route is what we usually call it, and he just split the two safeties again, and he was wide open.
It's 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage is the 35-yard line for quarterback Cooper McCullum. There goes Potts in motion, far side. Fakes the handoff, pressure coming, unloads, has a man at the 35, the 30, the 20, and into the end zone for another touchdown. That is Christian Marshall.
That was a wide receiver screen to Marshall, and it was well executed that time by McCullum and the Texans offense. That's all you can really say about that, because really the Canyon Lake Hawk defense was basically caught flat-footed, particularly in the secondary, where they were not able to react and try to catch him.
On to try the extra point, and it is good. And we've got 57 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And our score now, Wimberley 14, Canyon Lake nothing. We'll be back with more in just a moment. This is the Hawks Network.
Wednesdays, science shows you why bigger is better.
The magnitude of this building, it's an incredible marvel.
These guys don't think small.
Definitely a little more dangerous
when it comes to living large.
I've got the best job in the world.
Building giants, Wednesday at 9. Followed by monster ships at 10 on Science.
Watch Science. GVTC, Channel 518.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news? You can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
Back with you at Hawk Stadium on the campus of Canyon Lake High School. In Canyon Lake, Texas, we just saw a 35-yard touchdown pass for the Wimberley Texans to put them on the board once again, 14-0 over Canyon Lake, and the Hawks handled this kickoff. Across the 20, the 30, the 35-yard line goes the kick returner, and that is Jesse Horner.
Well, that's what happens when you get stopped on 4th and short, and the momentum totally changes, because 3 plays later, it's another 6 points, another touchdown.
99 yards worth of touchdown passes in the first quarter for Wimberley.
Not bad. Not bad.
Goodness gracious, but there's still plenty of game left. And the Hawks have got to find an answer on this 1st and 10 line of scrimmage is their own 30-yard line. Give the first man through correction. That is McMullen with the keeper across the 35 down to around the 38. Nice pickup on that play.
Well, this would be poetry in motion if this offense could just, through McMullen, just methodically go down the field, take the momentum away from the other side from the Texans, and just get in the end zone for 6 points, because that would change the momentum of this football game.
Spotting this at the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3 for Canyon Lake with 20 seconds left to go in the quarter. McMullen takes the snap, but penalty markers fly. We may have procedure. We will check the call.
Well, this is going to frustrate Coach Drum. You know, just when you start getting things rolling, there's been penalties after penalties already the first quarter. when he's trying to see if there's any way that they can get some sort of rhythm on offense, the penalties just cuts it off.
And that's what it takes. It went from a 2nd and 3 now to a 2nd and 8 from the 32-yard line. As checking into the ball game is Tyler Pauly. And they're just going to let the clock run out. And that's the end of the first quarter from Canyon Lake, Texas, with our score. The Wimberley Texans 14, the Canyon Lake Hawks nothing. We'll be back with second quarter action in just a moment. You're enjoying Canyon Lake football right here on the Hawks Network.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news, you can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
I will see you soon.
The filters are coming off.
Even though we haven't met, I fell in love. I couldn't help it.
I've sent $40,000.
Michael wants me to have a baby. Ready to open my heart again.
I really thought she was catfishing me.
I'm risking it all.
You're crazy.
There's so much on the line. It's kind of hitting me.
Before the 90 days, all new, Sunday at 8 on TLC.
Watch TLC, GVTC, channel 553.
Back to action here in Canyon Lake, Texas. Second quarter action on the 2nd and 8 from the Hawk 32-yard line. Here's McMullen pulling the snap down, looking downfield over through his intended receiver. Might have been going for Rivera, and penalty markers on the field. Also looking for Beatrick down there.
Yeah, the intentional receiver was Rivera, but it looks like there was a little bit of defensive holding down on Rivera.
Well, correct, that was Pauly. It was down there with Rivera. So we'll check the check the call. That seems to be on the defense, but we'll see what the referee has to say.
Yeah, it was close. I think Brandon Wallace, the senior the safety, and also Colby Wigman, they had pretty good position on both receivers. Just that it looks like that they did a little hand holding as they try to get by.
There you go. That's exactly what the call is. Legal use of hands. That'll bring up an automatic first down for Canyon Lake. And move the football to the Hawk 47-yard line. Just underway, second quarter. The Texans up on Canyon Lake 14-0. Hawks break huddle on this first down. Single receiver either side. Give to the first man through, banging his way across midfield. Goes the one running back, Derek Beatrick, before he's met there and dropped in on the stop. And what a game this young man has had so far, Jaden Potts.
He's been all over the place. And, of course, Beatrick's been mainly the one toting the football, too, for the Hawks offense. Good for 3 yards. And, again, looks like when they call Beatrick's number, it's just right up the middle.
Some tough smash mouth football. Yeah. Breaking the huddle, and Green coming flank to the near side on this 2nd down and 7. Here's the give, this time Rivera. He tries to get down close to the 45-yard line. He'll be stopped shy at about the 47. Met there and dropped on the play Manny Esquina from his linebacker position for Wimberley.
Little misdirection. You hit him up the middle with a quick drive. Then you go misdirection coming back to the into the boundary. And it picked up another 3 or 4 yards. Now you're stuck at 3rd and 4. This is, again, a big call and a big down for the Hawk offense to keep this momentum going, keep this drive going.
From the Wimberley 47 on this 3rd and 4. In motion, the give to Rivera, and penalty markers down.
I think the man in motion was took a step up towards the line of scrimmage too soon that time.
Well, that backs it up now. It'll be 3rd and 9 instead of a 3rd and 4. Moves the ball back into Canyon Lake territory. It's these inopportune penalties and miscues that have been hurting the Hawks somewhat. I mean, that's part of the equation thus far this evening. Here's McMullen. Rolling out, unloads, looking for a man just out of the reach of his intended receiver. That was Rivera, and I don't see any penalty markers down there on the field.
No, he was covered pretty well. Actually, McMillan's pass was on the outside boundary and too high, so it would have been uncatchable even if it was interference.
And that brings up a 4th and 9 from the Hawk 48.
I think McMullen's trying to hit a back shoulder on his pass to Rivera, but just too much on it.
Jaden Potts waits back at his own 20-yard line for the Hawk punt. Wobbly snap. I think this was blocked. Somebody got a paw on it.
Either that or the pressure by number 55, Carson Mannix, caused a poor punt. One of the two happened. The result of it is that now the Texans have great field position.
Yeah, they'll have the football. Looks like they haven't spotted it yet, but they are going to have ideal field position once again. Here we go. They're going to put this at the 44-yard line, the Wimberley 44. As McCollum in the Texans offense come in on this 1st and 10. McCollum barking signals. A correction, new quarterback in the game. We'll check that momentarily. Keeping it and getting out across midfield. No, that is Cooper McCollum.
That's McCollum.
My correction. He gets out to near midfield.
Well, he was looking for Limely, but he was covered. And plus McCollum had pressure that time by 56 Alex Harden coming off the edge. And Harden was the one that kind of disrupted that play as much as he could.
One of those seniors the Hawks are looking for defensive leadership. It's pickup of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4 for McCollum and the Texan offense. 2 receivers to the near side, single receiver to the far side. McCollum calls his own number once again out past the first down marker. He'll have the first down and get out of bounds at about the 43-yard line.
I bet you McCollum just saw the numbers were in his favor on the offensive side versus the defense. Defense was playing more prevent for the pass, and this time McCollum just saw it, and so when he got the snap, just took off around the right end, made enough for the first down.
You know, Jeff, as we mentioned pregame, he's carrying for an average of about 80 yards a game.
Yeah.
Does a great job on the ground as well. From the 42, 1st and 10 for Wimberley. McCollum takes the snap, quick handoff straight up the middle. That is Juan Olmedo on the carry that time. Well, on the stop was Kyle Wharton for Canyon Lake. They'll give him a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the 38.
It's the first time we've seen Olmedo in the game. Again, Roland, he's a sophomore. He's a little kid, 5'10", 150, but I tell you, we ran pretty tough that time up the middle. He took a nice shot that time by Wharton, too, the middle linebacker for the Hawks.
2 receivers to the far side, single receiver to the near side on the 2nd and 4. McCollum, quick out that time, has a man at the 30. Crosses the 25 to near the 20-yard line. Goes the receiver, and that is, we'll check that young man's number. That is Goforth.
Yeah. And again, McCollum just looked up and saw that the Hawks were in prevent, or the safeties were back so far, covering the inside receiver, Goforth. And so all he had to do is pick up the football, catch the football from the snap, and just throw it out to Goforth and let Goforth do the rest of it on his own. And by the time the defensive secondary had a chance to react up, you've already made 8 or 9 yards.
Well, Goforth comes flanked out to the near side along with Christian Marshall.
Empty.
And now Marshall heads over to the sideline.
Was it injury or something? I don't know.
I am not sure, but coming into the ball game, it's number 25, Logan Brookshire. And there's a timeout on the field.
Yeah.
And Wimberley takes it. We'll take 1-2. 8:38 left to go in the first half. Our score is Wimberley 14, Canyon Lake nothing. We'll be back with more in a moment. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
New kids, brand and new challenges.
You know what that means?
A brand new season of Kids Baking Championship.
Most fun cake.
Topping your giant donut with regular donuts.
Yeah.
Who will beat the competition to become Kids Baking Champion? All new Kids Baking Championship. Monday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network. GVTC, Channel 563.
Hi, Tara. It's me, Laura, Sunflower 82 from Online Yoga. Yes, I'd love to get together for a class with you. Why don't we do a class at my place?
I'll send you the address. I live in the back, down the stairs.
See you tonight. Can't wait. Web of Lies, all new. Tuesdays at 9 on Investigation Discovery.
Watch Investigation Discovery. GVTC, Channel 520.
Back with you live from Canyon Lake. Here's McCullum, has a man straight across the middle. About the 15, call it the 13-yard line, is in making the catch that time. Seeing Crane.
That's the first time we saw the Texans go with an empty look. In other words, there's 5 receivers out, 3 on one side, 2 on the other, and that time McMullen was just able to take a look and see where the mismatch was. And as soon as he gets the ball from the snap, just pick the open receiver. Pretty simple.
It's 1st and 10, line of scrimmage, the 12-yard line. McCullum, the handoff straight ahead. It's bouncing off of tacklers. Goes the running back, Moses Ray, the sophomore we talked about pregame.
Yeah.
Haven't seen much of him this evening, but the night is still young as he gets a good pickup on the play. Gain of about 4, it'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, typical play down here in the red zone. It's a zone read. McCullum gives it to Moses Ray, who is a sophomore, 6'2", 216, running pretty tough for a sophomore. And I guess so. He's already had 2 touchdowns already this year, averaging about 6.39 per carry. Nice job.
Trips to the near side, a single receiver to the far side on this 2nd down for Wimberley.
Right.
Here's McCullum. Once again, the pitch to Ray as he gets down near the end zone. And over. It's another touchdown for Wimberley.
Well, nothing but an option play this time with Ray as a tailback, the trailing running back, and McCullum just pitched him the football, and he had a lot of green around the corner until he got in the end zone for a touchdown.
And the Texans on the board once again with 7:23 left to go in the 2nd quarter. On to try the extra point, and this one good. And with 7:23 left on the clock here in the first half, our score, Wimberley 21, Canyon Lake nothing. We'll be back with more Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Loyalty to the green leaf name is dying and it needs tending. I'm so tired of having this secret. I love you, James. As far as being in love, none of you care about me. The key to getting this church back? We have to leave room for God.
Watch OWN. GVTC, Channel 555.
The minute news breaks.
I'm Shepard Smith in New York. This is Fox News continuing coverage.
As it happens, Shep is covering every angle and getting the facts.
And it is in the details where the devil also lies. There's an explanation, and we'll have it for you.
Watch Shepard Smith reporting, weekdays at 3 p.m., only on Fox News Channel.
Watch Fox News. GVTC, Channel 543.
$7:23 left to go here in the first half. It's been all Wimberley Texans this evening. Touchdown passes of 64, 35 yards, and a 6-yard touchdown run. Extra points all good, 21-0 Wimberley. At this point, and here's the kickoff.
Oh.
This mishandled back at the 10-yard line, getting out across to near the 15 before he's wrapped up there. And the kick returner on that play, that was James Bates. It'll be first down for the Hawks.
It's a real effective kickoff when you kick it, and so that the returner can't actually field it in the air. He has to take it off the bounce. And that time, unfortunately for the Hawks, it just took an odd bounce where the receiving player was not able to really catch it clean, and therefore the defenders are down on him before he can really cut up field with the football.
Well, Peyton McCullum brings the offense to the line on this first down. Dropping back, looks to unload, has a man just out of the reach of his intended receiver, who was Rivera at midfield.
That was the right play. Throw it to Rivera, and Rivera had beaten the safety this time. And that time just McMullen just overthrew him just about a yard or two. Well, if he could have connected on that would have changed the tempo right there.
Sure would have. And one thing we've seen, though, in the first half, though he hasn't connected, McMullen has the arm.
Yeah.
And all it may take is just that first grab to get the ball rolling in that direction. It'll be 2nd and 10. Line of scrimmage is the Canyon Lake 13-yard line. McMullen this time under center. Dropping back, across the middle, just out of the reach of his intended receiver, Kyle Yule. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. And Yule's a big target, too.
Yeah. 6'4", 220. He's a big kid, and McMullen, I tell you, kind of threw it with a hot little mustard on that. A little hot pepper on that pass. It was hard for anybody to catch it, but with Yule, 6'4", you think he could have stretched up there, but it was a little bit too hot.
Checking into the game, Tyler Pauly. 7:04 left to go here in the first half. Pauly will break the huddle, goes flanked out to the far side, Rivera to the near side. On this 3rd down, McMullen rolling out, trying to buy some time. He has a man this time at the 20. Be a first down for Canyon Lake as Pauly hauls that one in. Oh, we'll check that. That is Beatrick at number 2. Nice catch by Derek Beatrick.
Good call that time by Coach Drum. Just a misdirection and then a throwback screen to Beatrick. And Beatrick actually started to outrun his blockers. If he could have stayed behind his blockers a little bit more, he might have gotten a few extra yards of it. But nevertheless, that's a big play for a first down.
From the 27 as Neal checks into the ball game, it's 1st and 10 for Canyon Lake. Here's a handoff straight ahead, banging his way down to just shy of the 35-yard line. Goes the running back, and that is Ethan Slater, picking up some tough yards. He's over to make the stop. That was Jaden Potts. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, I tell you what, I saw the Hawk offensive line that time roll him really fire out and take it, with authority and took control of that defensive line for the Texans, and that was a good just straight up the middle for 6 yards. Great job.
Pauly splits out to the far side on this 2nd down. Here's the give coming near side this time. Nice hold that time.
Yep.
As I believe that was Rivera with a carry.
For first down.
Nice first down. It's Blackbird over to make the stop that time for Wimberley. And that'll move the chains and give the Hawks a first down.
Well, Canyon Lake doesn't mix it up a whole lot. They give you a lot of the same formations, but they can do a lot of misdirection. That time, Raveley did a nice job of running through the D gap and met for its first down. Good tackle by Blackburn as well.
Belcher checking into the ball game. He goes split out to the far side. Here's McMullen on the keeper across the 40. Picks up a couple of tough yards down to around the 44-yard line. Potts in on the stop that time. Little help from Nova Rankin for Wimberley.
Well, I see the offensive line now for the Hawks with a little attitude. I like it. They're playing a little nasty up there in the offensive line, pushing the defensive line back a little bit.
Give McMullen a pickup of 5 on that play. It'll be 2nd and 5. Line of scrimmage is the Canyon Lake 43-yard line. McMullen, the handoff.
Nope, kept it.
Correction, that was the keeper. I thought Rivera had the football coming near side, and he was going to go for a big game, but McMullen did keep it. As we were mentioning here before the game, sometimes this offense is awful tough to follow.
It is. a lot of misdirection. Jordan Potts, though, came up from the secondary and did a nice job of tackling McMullen before he was able to get around the perimeter.
150-year-old eyes up here in the booth don't help either, Jeff Candy. That's really rough.
Hey, don't throw me into that.
No, that's your play caller here with the old eyes, I guarantee you. It's 3rd and 7 from the 41-yard line.
Big down.
Big down. Here is McMullen rolling near side.
Nice.
Pass. He's got a man. That is Yule. He's going to be stopped just shy of the first down. Defensively that time was Rene Treviso making the stop for Wimberley.
That's a big tackle for Treviso because Yule had a lot of real estate to pick up the first down and then some. But Treviso came out to chop Yule's legs out from underneath him, short about a yard.
Well, it brings up a 4th down and short. Coach Gandy, what do you do?
Well, how about Vietrick right up the middle? Because every time he gets the ball, he gets 3 or 4 or 5 yards.
Break huddle. And here we go, 4th down. McMullen, hey, good call. I think McMullen on the keeper tries to get to the outside. The Hawks are saying they have it. I'm not sure.
I think he's short. The way they're spotting the ball. Yep. Well, that time McMullen was going to, it looked like he was going to hand it off to Vietrick, but he pulled it out and kept it around the end. And that time the pursuit and the penetration of the defensive line caught up to him, and he actually lost a yard.
And they were able to recover that time and sniff that one out. So
just go straight downhill. Give it to whoever you want to give it to and go quick, hard, and just downfield. You just have to pick up a yard.
Smash mouth.
Exactly.
It's worked a few times.
Sometimes.
1st and 10 for Wimberley. Line of scrimmage is their own 47-yard line. Here's McCullum dropping back, looking, unloads, has a man. Nice pickup that time. Good defensive heads-up play that time by Jeremy Green on the receiver, Colby Boyle.
Boyle's a big kid, 6'5", 220, senior tight end. But I tell you what, Jeremy Green did a nice job as a sophomore rover coming up and making a big hit for only 2 yards.
Yeah, that could have been a bigger play.
Yeah.
Tip of the green and gold cap to Jeremy Green on that one.
When Boyle got up from being tackled, he stood up. He's 6'5", and Green's like 6 foot. There was a big difference between the two.
2nd and 8 now for Wimberley. And
Draw.
McCullum decides to call his own number. Gets out across the 40. He'll be stopped at around the 37-yard line. Whole host of Hawks in on the stop that time.
He didn't make enough for the first down, but that was a quarterback call right there all the way. Quarterback draw by McCullum.
Stephen Sharp, among others, in on the stop that time for Canyon Lake.
Yep.
You're right, stopped him just shy from the 38. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Wimberley. As that clock moves now with 2:10 left to go before halftime, and the Texans out to a 21-0 lead. 2 receivers either side this time for the Texans. Here's McCullum taking the snap. Quick drop, has a man across the 30. That'll be a first down and more as he gets pulled down around the 20-yard line. Goes the intended receiver. I believe that was Jackson Watts with the catch.
You know, that's the 3rd time they've ran that same play to the inside slot receiver, and McCullum just knows when the safety's backed off that he's going to go to that inside middle receiver. That time, Goforth, he just turns around and gets the ball and runs.
It was Goforth. Let me get that correction. It was an 8, not a 6 on that play. First down for Wimberley. Here's the snap. Dropping back is McCullum. Unloads, looking for the end zone, just in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And that was Potts.
He got some pressure that time. And, you know, pressure on McCullum will disrupt him just enough to not throw a very good football. But thus far, you have to give a lot of credit to the Wimberley Texans offensive line, who's pretty much made McCullum scot-free from any kind of pressure except for that last play.
Line of scrimmage is the Canyon Lake 20, be 2nd and 10. It's the Texans break huddle. Ray lone back in the backfield for quarterback McCullum, who takes the snap. Quick drop back, looks end zone once again. This time his intended receiver was Goforth. Nothing doing there. Good defensive coverage that time.
That was by Sharp, Stephen Sharp.
Coach Stephen Sharp back defensively for Canyon Lake.
Well, I was just complimenting the Texans offensive line. Again, that time McCollum had all day long just to wait for Goforth to make his break to see if he can get it in the end zone.
That is an experienced offensive line. You talk about all seniors except for a junior on that line.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 10. Line of scrimmage is the Canyon Lake 20. McCullum this time over the middle, quick out. He's going to be awful close to a first down.
Same play.
That's Goforth hauling that one in, and to make the stop was Sharp. And we'll see where they mark this. It looks like it's going to be 4th and just a sneeze for a first down.
Yeah, they just don't have the talent on defense I don't believe the Hawks do. I'm speaking of. They go man up or man to man. So you play that soft zone, and McCollum's just realizing where the opportunity is and picks up the ball and throws it to him. And it typically is go for it in that slot position.
Well, 1:04 left to go before halftime. It's been the Wimberley Texans show here in the Battle of the Backbone.
Well, it looks like payback is already taken place since last year when the Hawks went to Wimberley and really laid it on to the Texans, and I think that's now turned around already this first half.
This is a fine rivalry. I tell you, one to look forward to each year, and unfortunately for Hawks fans, just not going their way, but still plenty of football left.
Oh, yeah.
Anything can happen. 7:05 to go in the first quarter was Potts hauling it a 64-yard touchdown pass from McCullum. Extra point good, 7-0. A few moments later, Christian Marshall at the 57-second mark hauled in a 35-yard touchdown pass. Extra point good, 14-0. Right now back to action on this 4th and 1. Here's McCullum calling his own number. He's going to be stopped. Oh, just his forward momentum got him that first down. They had him stopped.
Well, it looked like Alex Harden, the senior 6 foot, 225, had him stop in the backfield, but give credit to McCullum. He just spun off and kept his feet moving and just enough to break the tackle and get another yard for the first down.
Well, it's 1st and goal. Line of scrimmage, the 8-yard line for Wimberley. This time, Potts goes in motion near side to far side. McCullum buying time, looks in zone, pass in and out of the hands of the Hawks defender.
Tyler Pauly.
Oh, yeah, Pauly almost coming away with that one.
Wow. And we said in the pregame, McMullen will throw interceptions. He'll try to force the ball in, and that could have been the opportunity for that first turnover this game.
2nd and goal for the Texans. Line of scrimmage is the Canyon Lake 8-yard line. 32 seconds left to go before halftime. McCullum the snap. McCullum fakes the handoff. McCullum looks in zone. This time it's hauled in, and once again, that's Jaden Potts.
Well, you typically see this down on the end zone where the inside receiver in the slot position kind of almost like you say rub block or pick block, and the outside receiver cuts in. That time Potts is wide open, dragging across the middle. McCullum just lays it low where only Potts can catch it. Again, nice execution, touchdown.
Extra point is up and good. And with 27 seconds left to go before halftime, our score now, Wimberley 28, Canyon Lake nothing. We'll be back with more in a moment. Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Loyalty to the green leaf name is dying and it needs tending. I'm so tired of having this secret. I love you, James. As far as being in love, none of you care about me. The key to getting this church back? We have to leave room for God.
Watch OWN, GVTC, Channel 555.
Wednesdays, science shows you why bigger is better.
The magnitude of this building, it's an incredible marvel.
These guys don't think small.
Definitely a little more dangerous
when it comes to living large.
I've got the best job in the world.
Building Giants, Wednesday at 9. Followed by Monster Ships at 10. On Science.
Watch Science, GVTC, Channel 518.
Back live in Canyon Lake, Texas, we just saw Jaden Potts haul in an 8-yard touchdown pass, his second of the night. And the Wimberley Texans up 28-0 at halftime over the Canyon Lake Hawks. Here fielding the kickoff for the Hawks at the 25-yard line goes Jeremy Green. And it looks like the Hawks are going to have one more shot at this before the halftime break.
Well, you might as well. You might as well. Right now, it doesn't look like the Hawks have an answer offensively against this defense. But then again, the momentum has always been most of the first half on the other side of the field in the favor of the Texans. So you try to just run this clock out, go in, lick your rooms, make some adjustments, and come back fresh, getting the football first the second half.
From the 25, it's first down. Here's McMullen. Steps up into the pocket and across to about just shy of the 30-yard line. Give him a pickup of about 4. He's over to make that stop, Jaden Potts, for the Wimberley Texans.
Now they're going to run out.
And that's it. That is the end of the first half. It's been all Wimberley Texans here in the Battle of the Backbone 2019. Our score at halftime, Wimberley 28, Canyon Lake nothing. We'll be back with more in just a moment. This is Canyon Lake Football, and this is the Hawks Network.
New kids, brand new challenges.
You know what that means?
A brand new season of Kids Baking Championship.
Most fun cake.
Topping your giant donut with regular donuts.
Yeah.
Who will beat the competition to become Kids Baking Champions? All new Kids Baking Championship, Monday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC, Channel 563.
Wednesdays, science shows you why bigger is better.
The magnitude of this building, it's an incredible marvel.
These guys don't think small.
Definitely a little more dangerous
when it comes to living large.
I've got the best job in the world.
Building Giants, Wednesday at 9. Followed by Monster Ships at 10. On Science.
Watch Science, GVTC, Channel 518.
There's something watching me.
These kids have a gift that they can't control.
I'm just really scared.
Now, former psychic kids are back to help.
The entities that you see, you're in charge.
What was that?
Psychic Kids, Wednesdays at 10 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558.
All new on Travel Channel.
We're the Ghost Brothers,
A team of paranormal investigators
helping frightened families find peace
in their haunted homes.
My dream home has become my nightmare.
We gotta help this family
And use our expertise.
Whatever's in there is dark.
Shed some light on these dark spirits. What the heck is going on in y'all's house, bro?
Move over, Ghosts.
We're moving in.
All new Ghost Brothers, Haunted House Guests. Friday at 9 on Travel Channel.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news, you can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
I will see you soon.
The filters are coming off.
Even though we haven't met, I fell in love. I couldn't help it.
I've sent $40,000.
Michael wants me to have a baby. Ready to open my heart again.
I really thought she was catfishing me.
I'm risking it all.
You're crazy.
There's so much on the line. It's kind of hitting me.
Before the 90 days, all new, Sunday at 8 on TLC.
Watch TLC, GVTC, Channel 553.
Hi, Tara. It's me, Laura. Sunflower 82 from Online Yoga. Yes, I'd love to get together for a class with you. Why don't we do a class at my place?
I'll send you the address. I live in the back, down the stairs.
See you tonight. Can't wait. Web of Lies, all new. Tuesdays at 9 on Investigation Discovery.
Watch Investigation Discovery, GVTC, Channel 520.
million homes destroyed, people living in shelters and subway stations.
As German bombs rain from above,
It creates the perfect environment for criminality.
the criminal underworld flourished below.
Bombed-out buildings are a great place to dispose of bodies.
We were fighting the police state, Nazi Germany, and yet we had to create one.
Poverty-bred crime.
Wartime crime. On AHC.
Back with you now at halftime with our score: the Wimberley Texans on top of the Canyon Lake Hawks, 28-0, and it's been pretty much, well, it has been Wimberley off from the start, though we have seen glimpses of what looked like could have been a little momentum on the side of the Hawks.
Yeah, and unfortunately, kind of just shot themselves in the foot with penalties, Roland. I mean, especially that first quarter when the Hawks looked like they were getting some momentum, getting some rhythm on offense, they'd have a holding penalty or it'd be a legal procedure or something would happen to take away some positive yards, and it just kills the momentum and the rhythm for the offense, and they just haven't been able to pick it up since then.
Absolutely. As we take a look at how the scoring went tonight, it all got started at 7:05 of the first quarter. When Jared Potts, man, what a night that young man has had so far, and he's only had a half on both ends of the football, might I add. But this particular time, a 67-yard touchdown pass he hauled in, and that put the Texans on the board with 7:05 in the first, 7-0. Christian Marshall would haul in a 35-yard touchdown pass at the 57-second mark of the first quarter, and up the score to 14-0 Wimberley. With 7:23 left to go in the first half, it was Ray. We've heard a lot about this sophomore running back. We finally saw him get into action with a 6-yard touchdown run, 21-0 Wimberley at that point. And just before halftime, with 27 seconds left, well, let's get Mr. Potts back into the business, or get him back into the action. An 8-yard touchdown pass, extra point good, 28-0, and that's where we stand right now.
Well, and you forgot Potts did run back a punt for a touchdown that got called back.
That's right. That got called back. And like we talked about just a couple of minutes ago, Jeff, you know, the young man has been in on a few big tackles. That's a big young man.
Yeah. Very athletic, obviously, to be playing on the perimeter as a wide receiver, but he's catching the passes across the middle. He's not afraid for contact, obviously. And, of course, from on the defensive perspective, he's up there sticking his nose in there for tackles and defending some passes as well. So this isn't the Potts show, but football team, but I tell you what, he's had a heck of a first half.
But one thing I like, and like we've talked about at the beginning of the game, and I'll mention again, I love to see players play on both sides of the football. And just looking at the way he handles himself out there this evening, you can tell this young man loves the game.
He does. And you know what? There's other players out there, even on the offensive, defensive line, playing both ways.
Absolutely.
There's a couple running backs that also alternate in the linebacker. And that's just the nature of Texas high school football at this level, at the 3A, 4A, and 5A level. You're going to have your best players on the field somehow, some way, because you're just limited in numbers. Although the 6As, they just have the numbers to be able to basically have one kid for each position, one player for each position, and kind of be an expert for that one position. But you know, this is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it's been one-sided. But you know what? We've seen some glimpses of the Canyon Lake Hawks football team. They've made some good plays out there. They just need to make a few more and get that momentum going where they can put the football in the end zone.
And there's still a half of football left.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've seen some great things from McMullen in that he's found a couple of things over the middle. He's finally started to get that passing game going a little bit. You key on the run, which you expect from Canyon Lake. And while lo and behold, McMullen has an arm, and he's been showing it off, using it. Of course, that may tighten up a little bit and result in some big big numbers second half, we'll certainly have our fingers crossed from the Canyon Lake side of the field.
And, you mentioned Peyton McMullen throwing the football. Usually he's only going to throw 3 or 4 or 5 times in a game. He's probably already doubled that just in the first half. And I think right now Coach Drum is probably figuring out what can we do to loosen up the defense so that will allow us to run the football more effectively. That's what that passing does. It picks up big chunks for them, which they need, but it also softens up and gets that extra safety out of there. He's not having to just make that key and then go run up for that D-gap coverage. He has to play softer, and that opens up the opportunity then for the lanes to run the football in.
So, Jeff, to use the old cliche, now I may have it backwards, do you use the run to set up the pass, or do you use the pass to set up the run?
Both.
You
do. You use both. And it's true. Whatever seems to be working, it feeds on the other. And obviously, you and I both know that if there's 10 plays, Coach Drum wants to run 9 out of the 10 plays. He'd rather run the football because you control the clock. You keep the other opponent's offense off the field, and that's a winning combination.
Right.
But when you get yourself behind like this, it's tough to catch up.
Right. Absolutely. And we'll see. Both teams are going to go in for adjustments. As you were mentioning at the beginning of the game, you want the ball to start the second half like the Hawks are going to get.
Right.
You've seen the first half. You see what they're going to do. The defense has been on the field. Now, time to take a look at what the Texan defense is giving you and how you can exploit it just a little bit.
Yep, exactly. And in the opening of our game, I made a point that I want to take a look at the offensive line for Canyon Lake, because I think that's what Coach Drum is really suiting when he alluded to the fact that he's disappointed about not scoring more points the first 2 games. Well, that really starts up with the offensive line. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on it, and actually they've done a pretty good job. You just have to give credit to the defense of Wimberley. Their secondary is coming up awful quick and really strong to fill those gaps. Where you think that the like Viatric may have an extra 4 or 5 yards, it gets closed off really quick. So we'll see what happens the second half here pretty soon.
And not a bad size line. I always like to introduce the line. Haven't had an opportunity to do that, but Marshall Netting, who's starting at tackle, 6 foot 220. Bryce Vincent at 6 foot 180. He's a senior. Benjamin Crisp, the center, at 6'3", 195, a junior. Eric Tauch, 6'3", 265. He's a junior as well. And Ian Royer at 6'2", 195. They make up that offensive line for Canyon Lake. Not a bad-sized offensive line.
It really isn't. And with the way that their formations, where they have tight perimeters, tight formations on the perimeter, you've got Kyle Ewell, who's 6'4", 220, really is a blocker on the edge. And then when you pull the off guard, which typically they do in almost every play, you have more blockers than there are defenders on that side of the football. So you would think you'd find a crease and really hit it hard and make a lot of yardage out of it. But I tell you what, give a little bit of credit to like I said, the Wimberley's defense and the defensive coordinators, whatever scheme they came up with, it seems to be working pretty well so far.
Absolutely. We're moments away from enjoying a halftime performance by the Canyon Lake, the mighty Canyon Lake Hawk.
I like how you
High
say
School
that.
Band. Got to get the mighty in there. That's how that works. But right now, before we do that, if we could, we're going to let's take a look at what's happening in the Hawks District 14-4A. Here, of course, we're trailing Wimberley 28-0 at halftime. It's Lampasas on top of Lorena, 20-7. That a halftime score. Giddings all over Taylor. You remember Taylor was a powerhouse not too long ago. Taylor behind Giddings. This is a halftime score, 34-0. It's Burnett on top of the Lockhart Lions, 33-17. That still has a little over 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And Liberty Hill on top of Manor, 14-13. And that with just over 3 minutes left to go before halftime.
Yeah. And I tell you what, if you want to go ahead and do some more scores, I got some scores here for 26-6A, which is our partner with Bowick Productions over there on the other side of town. I know we had the crew over there calling the Canyon High School Cougars versus Dripping Spring Tigers, and I'll tell you what, there's 69 points already up to in the middle of the second quarter by both of these teams.
Mercy.
It's Canyon Cougars 35 and Dripping Springs is 34. That is in the middle of the second quarter, believe it or not.
Those Canyon Cougars can put up some numbers. We saw that a couple of weeks ago here on the Cougar Network.
Yeah,
we covered that game. They can put up some numbers offensively. defensively.
Yeah, and of course we have the New Braunfels Unicorns. Unfortunately, at halftime, they're behind Johnson Jaguars of the Northeast Independent School District, 21-7. Johnson over New Braunfels. And one other I think that is interesting to comment. We're almost at the end of the first half. It's Clemens Buffaloes 21, Reagan Rattlers 7. So that's a little bit. Yeah, I thought Reagan was a little bit better than that this year. Well, excuse me, Roland, one more. We have Steel Knights 14, Churchill Chargers 0 at halftime.
I thought I was in for a big surprise there.
I just refreshed it, and know it's 14-0, Steel over the mighty Superchargers at halftime. And, of course, one other, we have Judson 26, Harlingen 0, and that's middle of the third quarter, actually. And, we have to say this too. Last night's game, Smithson Valley really poured it on to Madison Mavericks, 44-0. That was a big win for Coach Larry Hill and the Rangers.
Certainly was. Run their record to 2-1, of course, dropping the opening game of the season to Midland Lee. But good to see the Rangers bounce back that way, and of course onward and upward to next week. But we got to get through this week first, which we will do here in just a matter of moments. Stay well. We'll take a quick break and come back and join the mighty Canyon Lake Hawk High School Band as they perform for us here in just a moment. It's Canyon Lake football right here on the Hawks Network.
Loyalty to the green leaf name is dying and it needs tending. I'm so tired of having this secret. I love you, James. As far as being in love, none of you care about me. The key to getting this church back? We have to leave room for God.
Watch OWN, GVTC, Channel 555.
There's something watching me.
These kids have a gift that they can't control.
I'm just really scared.
Now, former psychic kids are back to help.
The entities that you see, you're in charge.
What was that?
Psychic Kids, Wednesdays at 10 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558.
The basket is the great equalizer.
Never even seen this before.
Curveball.
Nobody would eat this.
To be the best or consider the best, you have to win against the best.
I've been preparing for it my whole life.
Who's the best chef in the room? We're going to witness greatness.
All new, Chopped, Tuesday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network, GVTC, Channel 563.
Back with you now at halftime at Canyon Lake, home of the Canyon Lake Hawks. As we await a performance by the Canyon Lake High School Band. I believe it not only the first home game of the season, if I'm not mistaken, I believe tonight is homecoming, which we were talking about rather early in the season. But, hey, homecoming is always a wonderful thing.
Well, it's an exciting time for the student body and the parents, and thus one other reason why to have the stands full.
Absolutely.
This is a big deal, and for some of these students, this is one of the highlights of the year for them, and good for them. I'm happy for them. It's just that it's going to slow down to halftime, right?
A tip of the cap, but awful proud to be here. Thank you for having us. And I tell you what, we're going to step aside right now and enjoy the presentation by the Canyon Lake High School Band.
Baseball, basketball, and track. Chase plans to get a degree in communications from the University of Texas and go to work for ESPN. Lady Maddie Pipkin is the daughter of Andy and Kelly Pipkin. Maddie plays volleyball, basketball, soccer, and track at Canyon Lake and is a member of HOSA. After high school, Maddie wants to be a physical therapist. Ladies and gentlemen, freshman Lord Chase Anderson and freshman lady Maddie Pipkin. Representing the class of 2022, sophomore Count and Countess Carter DeRuin and Madison Evans. Count Carter DeRuin is the son of Tanya DeRuin. Carter is planning to graduate early and is focused on his academics this year. After high school, Carter plans to attend the University of Texas at San Antonio and the University of Washington and pursue his goal of becoming a plastic surgeon. Countess Madison Evans is the daughter of Howard and Tara Evans. Madison is a member of varsity choir here at Canyon Lake. After graduation, Madison plans to major in music in college and minor in political science. Hawk fans, sophomore Count Carter DeRuin and sophomore Countess Madison Evans. Representing the class of 2021, junior Duke and Duchess Derek Dietrich and Lily Lesturgeon. Duke Derek Dietrich is the son of Shirley Johnson and Troy Dietrich. Derek is active in football, powerlifting, track, and ballroom dance at Canyon Lake. After graduation, Derek plans to attend college and obtain a degree in engineering. Duchess Lily Lesturgeon is the daughter of Darren and Sharon Lesturgeon. Lily is the captain of the Emerald Dancers, a member of First Team Ballroom, and part of the Student Superintendent's Council. After high school, Lily would like to attend a public university. Ladies and gentlemen, Junior Duke Derek Dietrich and Junior Duchess Lily Lesturgeon. And now, for your senior princes and princesses, Prince Alex Harden and Princess Lainey Moses. Prince Alex Harden is the son of Forrest and Patricia Harden. Alex is involved in football, powerlifting, and chess at Canyon Lake. After high school, Alex plans to enlist in the military. Princess Lainey Moses is the daughter of Troy and Kim Moses. Lainey participates in varsity volleyball, varsity basketball, and varsity track, and is a member of the National Honor Society, and because I said I would. Lainey's plans after high school include going to Texas A&M and majoring in petroleum engineering. Hawk fan, Senior Prince Alex Harden and Senior Princess Lainey Moses. Prince Nash Young and Princess Angelina Covarrubias. Prince Nash Young is the son of Scott and Sandy Young. Nash is involved in soccer, football, first-class ballroom, track, a member of the National Honor Society, and a member of Interact Club. After he graduates, Nash plans to attend Texas A&M University to study marketing and statistics. Princess Angelina Covarrubias is the daughter of Joseph and Danielle Lewis. Angelina is part of the Ready, Set, Teach program here at Canyon Lake High School. After graduation, Angelina plans to attend Texas A&M Corpus Christi to study accounting and business. Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Prince Nash Young and Senior Princess Angelina Covarrubias. Prince Kyle Yule and Princess Cassidy Hicks. Prince Kyle Yule is the son of Nikki Yule and Joyce Lynn. Kyle is active in football, track, and powerlifting at Canyon Lake. Kyle's plans for the future include graduating from college, being rich as heck, and owning a big yacht. Princess Cassidy Hicks is the daughter of Justin and Elena Gregory. Cassidy is a member of the powerlifting team and multiple teams in FFA. After high school, Cassidy plans to go to Texas A&M to become a veterinarian. Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Prince Kyle Yule and Senior Princess Cassidy Hicks. At this time, Principal Christy Casieja will crown the 2019 Homecoming King. Congratulations to King Nash Young. And now, Mrs. Castilla will crown the 2019 Homecoming Queen. Congratulations to Queen Lainey Moses. Ladies and gentlemen, may I be the first to introduce 2019 Homecoming King and Queen, King Nash Young and Queen Lainey Moses. One more round of applause for the Katy Lake High School Homecoming Royalty.
Makes you proud, huh?
And with that, Homecoming 2019 in the books. Jeff Gandy once again, a member of the, oh, that's okay, it's just my arm, no problem. Jeff Gandy, if you want to go ahead and announce once again, the Homecoming King and Queen. And congratulations to Nash.
Yeah, we had several football players. We had 4 actually on the Kenny Lake football team represent the court and to be nominated for Homecoming King. And Homecoming King this year was crowned to number 1, the kicker, Nash Young, a good-looking young man, and a lot of high expectations later in life, what he wants to do, and like all these kids do. And it's kind of fun just to watch them and hear what their expectations in life are after they leave the high school.
And you know, one of the good things about football is they teach you the discipline to stay on track, to obtain those dreams and to work towards them. Hard work is nothing, for young men that go through these programs. Same can be said for young ladies who go through athletic and programs of the like.
Absolutely. I mean, the sports is nothing more than a platform to help you exceed in life, and to be able to use it, leverage it, learn and grow from the things that you can only learn through a sport, particularly a team sport. I think particularly. You take the rest of your life, and the friendships you make, you'll have the rest of your life as well. So it's a great opportunity, a great vehicle for a young person.
Absolutely. You were mentioning some of the players that you played with at Baylor that you recently got back together with, like last week or whatever at the Baylor game, I guess, when they took on UTSA.
We do, and in fact, I've got a text thread of 12 guys, and we're not all from the same class, but we're all in the same, I guess, 4, 5, 6 years. We really keep in touch with each other, and it's not about maybe Baylor as much as it is about the relationships and the young men that I had the privilege of playing with and beside and have success and failure with, but go through life with.
That's right. I guess it's a like experience that you had with them.
Exactly. And be able to carry that forward now as husbands, as dads, and now granddads is pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, we're just about ready to kick things off for second half action. The battle of the backbone here with Wimberley on top of Canyon Lake, 28-0 at halftime. We'll be back with the second half kickoff and more right after this. This is Canyon Lake football, and this is the Hawks Network.
The minute news breaks.
I'm Shepard Smith in New York. This is Fox News continuing coverage.
As it happens, Shep is covering every angle and getting the facts.
And it is in the details where the devil also lies. There's an explanation, and we'll have it for you.
Watch Shepard Smith reporting weekdays at 3 p.m. only on Fox News Channel.
Watch Fox News, GVTC, Channel 543.
Back with you for second half action. here on the campus of Canyon Lake High School at Hawk Stadium on this homecoming 2019. Just enjoy the homecoming presentation at halftime. Right now, second half action is underway. As kickoff comes to Canyon Lake, the Hawks will have the football to start the second half. Fielding the football for Canyon Lake. That is James Bates, who gets the ball out to around the 30-yard line. We'll see where they place this. Perhaps not quite. Well, they'll call it the 28. It'll be first down for the Hawks at that point.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to find out what kind of tempo and temperament we have on this Canyon Lake football team as they go in, shut out, 28 points behind, starting the third quarter. See if they come out with a little bit of urgency and a little bit of fire in the belly.
The break huddle, here's McMullen. The handoff that time goes to Ethan Slater. Nothing doing there as Slater's going to be thrown for a couple of yard loss back to about the 26-yard line.
Yeah, again, Blackburn came up quick from his rover position. That way there was just nowhere to go. And, in fact, he lost 5 yards on that play. That's not a way to start off. And, again, I think, I've been impressed with Wimberley's speed on defense. They got a lot of team speed. And their defensive secondary and their perimeter, their corners, they come up really quick. So that was another example of that. They didn't get faked out, and they came up and they made a nice hit.
Moved down all the way back to just outside the 20. It'll be second down and 15. Misdirection that time. It's coming straight ahead was Daniel Neal with the carry. Get it out across the 25 to about the 26-yard line to bring up a third down.
Well, he almost broke it, too. If it wasn't for Lil hanging on by his legs, I think he might have picked up a first down on that one.
Line of scrimmage is the 26. It'll be third and 11 for Canyon Lake as they break huddle. It's McMullen under center. Drops back, looking down, unloads. Has a man. It's Rivera in and out of his hands at the 40-yard line.
You couldn't ask for anything better than that for Rivera. It just hit him in the hands, and he just couldn't cradle it and get it in his body. He was wide open, and that could have turned the momentum of this football game right there.
Wow, that poor young man, my heart is breaking for him because things like that just happen. Oh, it's fourth down.
Well executed, and McMullen had plenty of time to set his feet, wait for Rivera to be able to break and behind the safety. It was a perfect pass, too.
High snap, punt is down.
Potts.
This is Potts once again at the 40. Potts trying to work his way out to midfield. Ball on the ground. I believe the Hawks have it. Hawks are saying they have it. A skirmish there in the middle of the line. It will be Hawk football.
Well, that's the break you want right there. Potts, he was all Mr. First Half, but this time as he was cutting up field, he fumbled the football, and who was that, number 34? Daniel Neal is the one who recovered the football, and this is the break that now the Canyon Lake Hawks they need going into this third quarter.
Got a huge break that time. Just underway third quarter, Wimberley on top 28-0. And the Hawks break the huddle. Pauly goes flanked out to the far side. Green to the near side on this 1st and 10. Here's a snap. Here's McMullen unloading. Has a man across the 50. I believe that's Green who gets into a correction. That is the running back, Viatric, who gets into Wimberley territory at about the 46-yard line.
Viatric checked for the oncoming blitzer. There was no blitz, so he just slipped out to the outside. McMullen was able to hit him with a pass, and Viatric did the rest. Nice. That's a nice play on first down. Now you're 2nd and 5.
Give Derrick a pickup of 5 on that play. 2nd and 5, line of scrimmage is the Wimberley 47. Handoff going straight ahead for not much, maybe a yard.
Slater.
Goes the running back, Slater.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Roland. There's not a whole lot there that time. Not a very big push that time by the Canyon Lake offensive line, but I guess you got to give credit for those defensive tackles. Potts and Minix up front for the Texans.
They're going to give Slater a pickup of 1. It'll be 3rd and 4. Line of scrimmage is the Wimberley 46. Pauly to the far side on this 3rd down. McMullen under center. McMullen takes the snap. Dropping back, unloads, has a man just a little bit too tall for his intended receiver, Kyle Ewell.
Well, I tell you again, McMullen, he'd love to have that pass back. He went back and he waited to wait till Ewell was open across the middle, but it looked like McMullen was on his back leg throwing. And whenever you throw off your back leg, unbalanced, the ball's going to sail on you, and that's exactly what happened. And even Ewell at 6'4" wasn't able to go high enough to get that pass.
Green checking into the game. Looks like they're going to go for it, and might as well on this 4th and 4 from the Wimberley 46. Here's McMullen dropping back. He's looking pass all the way, feeling pressure, trying to get out of pressure. Does. He's just going to put this away, but he'll be ridden out of bounds after a loss. Penalty markers on the field. I believe that's Potts that made the stop, but we'll check those penalty markers.
This may give, I think it's going to give the Hawks a 1st down. I think it was unsportsmanlike or late hit or something over there on the far side. McMullen had no other choice than to just eat it and try to get as much as he could out of it when he got pressure at that time by Minix in the backfield. Let's see what happens here.
Let's see the call.
They're going to mark it off.
That's it. Personal foul. That'll move the football up. So 2 big breaks this drive for the Hawks.
Big breaks.
I don't think they've been this far into Wimberley territory this evening. Line of scrimmage is the 33.
Boy, that's think about Coach Warren on the other side of the field. You got him stopped, and in a personal foul and sportsmanlike, gives him a 1st down.
Belcher checks into the game.
Coach Warren is a little upset.
See if we can get things sorted out right now. So is there a timeout on the field?
Well, there's a lot of
confusion right now.
Yeah, the referees need to get control of this.
So now Belcher comes out of the game, as does Ewell, and a penalty marker.
Wait a minute. They're going to get flagged for illegal substitution because they broke the huddle. I think that's what it's going to be. Ewell came off the sideline complaining about his helmet, like there was needed some sort of repair work. So he came off the field, and that's when the flag flew.
And that is the call.
That is. Coach Drum is trying to find what in the world is going on here.
And this is going to back him up.
The player's coming off because he has helmet issues.
The 48-yard line now, the Wimberley 48. But that is a big penalty. Belcher checks into the game. He'll come flank to the near side. And yet more whistles prior to the snap.
Coach Drum is he's got his arms out saying, what in the world is going on here? And now the defense substitutes. Are they able to do that? There was not a substitution on offense.
Only time will tell. First down and 25. The give straight ahead. That is Viatric getting out across the 45 down to around the 43-yard line. Nice running that time. Jake Milam in on the stop that time for Wimberley.
Well, this is kind of what's been going on this whole game. Once you get some momentum, offensively, some rhythm going, there's penalties. And it just stifles everything that the Hawks have been able to do at this point.
That's right. It breaks that momentum. They're going to give him a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 21 now. Line of scrimmage is the Wimberley 44. Here's McMullen feeling pressure, gets out of it, unloads, has a man all by his lonesome, in and out of the hands, once again, of Jesse Horner.
I don't know what you can do or say. That's twice it's hit Horner in the hands for, this time it would have been a touchdown.
The first time was Rivera, who dropped it, this time Horner.
Well, McMullen was going back, and he threw the football off his back leg, so the ball floats. It doesn't come with a whole lot of velocity behind it, but he had a lot of pressure, so he had to do that. But it still hit Horner in the hands. Easy catch, easy touchdown.
3rd and 21 now for Canyon Lake. McMullen unloads once again. This time has Rivera, and that one incomplete.
That's Yule. Nope. Is that Rivera?
I believe that was Rivera, 15.
That was a hard catch, but it was definitely catchable. Again, McMullen having to run for his life and throwing on the run and throwing a pretty darn good pass into Rivera. Just Rivera couldn't cradle it.
Neal back to punt this thing away for Canyon Lake. Potts waits back at his own 10-yard line. Give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
No.
More whistles.
Well, you would think the way we've had so many penalties, Roland, you think this was the first game of the year, not the 3rd game of the year.
Really? That's a procedure penalty against Canyon Lake.
Canyon Lake had first down on the 33, and now it's 4th down, punting from your 48. Goodness.
Here's Neal. He's going to keep it. Across midfield. Neal at the 40.
Get a blocker.
Neal at the 30. Neal has the first down for Canyon Lake.
It's going to be close.
That was huge. I believe he got past the first down marker.
I think one of the – if he could have waited for his blocker, one block, just let that guy block for you, it would have been easy to pick this up. That's going to be close. They didn't give it to him.
Wow.
Woo!
From my angle, look how close like that was.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
They didn't even bring the chains out to look at it. It looks really close.
That you'd think you could measure.
At least Coach Drum to request it.
Golly.
What a turn of events that was, that series.
Oh, what a run by Neal that time. 1st and 10 now from the 24-yard line for Wimberley. The handoff goes to Olmedo, who gets out across the 25 down to around the 26-yard line before he'll be met there.
Was that Klein making a hit on that? I'll tell you, it was a nice hit on Olmedo trying to get around the corner. He didn't have a whole lot, just good for 1 yard, but I'll tell you what, that was a good job by Cody Klein.
Good defensive pursuit that time. They're going to give him a gain of 2 to the 26. It'll be 2nd and 8. McCullum quick out this time, and it's hauled in. But good defensive pursuit that time as Goforth didn't go forth too much.
That's that play that Goforth made a lot of money the first half off of, and this time they made some defensive adjustments where the corner's up much tighter on that slot receiver, and Goforth didn't have a whole lot of real estate to run, and he only picked up a couple yards.
Alex Harden that time in on the stop.
Yeah.
Among others. Still a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd and 5 for Wimberley.
Inside receiver.
At the 29-yard line. Here's McCullum on the snap. Rolls out. Has a man at the 40.
Kennedy Strange.
And that was Strange. That'll move the chains. It'll be a first down for the Wimberley Texans.
Yeah, they're up there pressing, but that was just an easy thing. You go past the first down marker, turn and go out towards the sideline, and that time McCullum just drew it. He threw a good pass on the run, rolling to his right. Good for a first down.
Marshall comes flanked out to the near side. There's a single receiver, actually trips to the far side on this 1st and 10. As McCullum calls signals. Takes the snap.
Yeah. Wide open.
He's a keeper all by his lonesome at the 20. This is going to be another big strike for a touchdown.
Jackson Watts.
That was Jackson Watts, number 6, with the reception.
They fake a reverse, and Watts just kind of creeps behind the safeties because the safeties, their eyes are back in the backfield, trying to see where the ball isn't going to end up. And then all of a sudden, McCollum just raises up and hits Jackson behind the safeties, wide open for a touchdown.
Well, 6:17 left to go in the third quarter, and Wimberley has opened it up with the extra point. Our score now, Texans 35, Canyon Lake nothing. We'll be back with more in just a moment. This is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
1 million homes destroyed, people living in shelters and subway stations.
As German bombs rain from above,
It creates the perfect environment for criminality.
the criminal underworld flourished below.
Bombed out buildings are a great place to dispose of bodies. We were fighting the police state, Nazi Germany, and yet we had to create one.
Poverty-bred crime.
Wartime crime. On EHC.
Brand new kids, brand new challenges.
You know what that means?
A brand new season of Kids Baking Championship.
Most fun cake.
Topping your giant donut with regular donuts.
Who will beat the competition to become Kids Baking Champion? All new Kids Baking Championship, Monday night at 9 on Food Network.
Watch Food Network. GVTC, Channel 563.
Back live at Canyon Lake. We just saw a 62-yard touchdown pass and catch from McCollum to Jackson Watts. Extra point good, and the Texans go up 35-0 on Canyon Lake. Waiting the kickoff. This one handled at the 20-yard line. Now coming near side. Across the 30. The 40 and still on his feet as he's driven down around the 45-yard line goes Bates.
Nice return that time by Bates, coming all the way across the field, seeing some real estate, and it wasn't until, I guess, Blackburn came up from the safety position on kickoff to make the tackle. Now, this is a great way to start this series, and you at the 46-yard line. Great opportunity to put some points on the board here for the Hawks.
Good field position.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the Canyon Lake 46. And I think we might have had movement on the Canyon Lake side of the football.
Got to be kidding.
There it is. Thought I saw something on the right side of the line that time moving. So this will back it up to the 41-yard line, and instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 15 for the Hawks. McMullen under center.
And here comes another penalty.
Okay, this is.
Even the PA man getting into the act this evening.
I can't. Is this a double? Is the center doing a double hike kind of thing, or so? Because I didn't see anything, any movement.
That time I didn't, but it backs it up another 5.
If I was Coach Drum, I would ask him, timeout, ref, you need to explain something here. What are you seeing? Because either there's a double hitch by the center, maybe? I don't know.
Third shot of the game. He's being replaced by Daniel Garcia. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
12 men on the field. Illegal substitution. Oh, the referee's going to wave it off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. 1st and 20 now from the 36-yard line.
All right.
As the give goes straight ahead, busting out across the 40 to around the 41-yard line. Goes Rivera. The market at the 42. Give him a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 14.
Well, they're not really changing the play calling. They're just running the same base plays. But, that's the only way to get some confidence in what you're doing out here. Run what you know you do well. That's the strength of what you do, and just see if you can pick up some yards and maybe get in the end zone.
Second down. Here's McMullen rolling left side, or rolling far side. He'll be met and sacked. Good defensive pursuit that time. Moses Ray in on the stop that time.
Well, it's just all speed by the middle linebacker, Ray, coming in again. We see a sophomore running back playing middle linebacker. That time, catching McMullen on the outside just ran him down for a loss. And again, if you're going to roll out with a right-handed passer, I would think you want to roll out to your right instead of your left. It's very difficult, particularly with the speed that they have on Wimberley's defense.
New kids, brand new challenges.
You know what that means?
A brand new season of Kids Baking Championship.
Most fun cake.
Popping your giant donut.
Tackle over.
From the 34-yard line, it is 3rd and 22. Here's the give coming near side. Nice hole that time as busting out across the 45 around the 46-yard line. Goes Ethan Slater.
Well, we had a tackle over and also a tight end came over, so you had too many blockers on one side of the field, the defenders, and they ran a power sweep, and it was a good-looking play. It picked up good yardage, but they just made it back to the original line of scrimmage.
That's about it. It'll bring up 4th down. It is 4th and 10 from the 46.
Oof.
Once again, Neal on to punt this away.
No one's back
Nobody
either.
back. Nobody back for Wimberley. This will travel out of bounds at near the 25-yard line. And that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Wimberley. So I guess just a series of not being able to get in sync tonight.
No. I think the coaches and the players are probably a little frustrated right now if you're on the Canyon Lake side. Just everything that you do right, you take 1 step forward, 2 steps back with penalties. And or drop passes, or just it's the overall execution. When you're not executing the play and performing, all these other mistakes like illegal procedure and things that we see that you typically wouldn't have your third game just compound the frustration.
So it's 1st down for Wimberley.
Fumble.
Give straight ahead. Omedo has the ball on the ground. I believe Wimberley recovered.
Yeah. That was another good opportunity right there. Well, Almedo got stuck right at the line of scrimmage. That ball came squirting out. Unfortunately, there was another Wimberley Texan, Johnny, on the spot to recover for what would be, again, a turn of events.
3:23 left to go, 3rd quarter, in a game that's been all Wimberley this evening, 35-0 on top of Canyon Lake. After that loss of 3, it'll be 2nd and 13. Line of scrimmage is the Texan 22 for quarterback Cooper McCullum. Here's the snap. Cooper calls his own number straight up the middle across the 30. He'll be stopped at about the 32-yard line. Getting a good chunk of that real estate back.
Yep. That middle's been wide open. There's a middle linebacker that's not accounting for McCullum. And so when he sees that, he gets the snap, and he just picks his hole up the middle, makes up a lot of yards for running the football up the middle.
Stephen Sharp in on the stop that time for Canyon Lake. 3rd and 3, line of scrimmage is the Wimberley 32-yard line. Trips to the far side, 2 receivers near side. Here's a snap. McCullum calls his own number. Across the 40, across the 45, across midfield and into Canyon Lake territory at about the 45-yard line before he'll be met there and run out of bounds. In on the stop that time, Kyle Wharton.
Well, it looks like Canyon Lake wanted to put a little more speed and opportunity on the defense. So their middle linebacker now is Patrick Allman. He's 5'9", 160 junior. And I'm sure there is speed, but when those big linemen come out on that quarterback draw, he's not able to get off the block, and he is responsible for the quarterback.
2 receivers either side, lone back in the backfield. That is Ray for McCullum. And Ray gets the call. The bust out to near the 40-yard line before he'll be met there and drug back. Braden Hodge in on the stop for Canyon Lake.
Right now, pretty much I would think that the Wimberley just wants to do what they want to do. And let the clock keep running.
That's it. Right now, the clock is the only thing that stands between them and the W this evening. 2 receivers either side of the football. McCullum takes the snap, drops back, unloads, felt pressure. This one caught at the 20-yard line, the 10, into the end zone. Goes Kennedy Strange. And is there a penalty marker on the field? There certainly is. We'll check this. I'm wondering if this may not be holding against Wimberley.
No, I think it's
hitting. He's gone touchdown.
McCullum really got
roughing the passer.
Yeah, he really got popped that time, and it might have been above the neck or the shoulder, so it might have been tardy. It looks like though the referee did pick up his flag. It looked like a pretty clean hit for me, but definitely McCullum got hit hard, and if the ball floated, but Strange was able to come back and make the cast and just outrun everyone else in the end zone.
On to try the extra point. Kick is up. It's good. 1:25 left to go in the third quarter. And Wimberley's blown this open. 42-0 on top of Canyon Lake. And we'll take a pause and be right back to finish out the third quarter from Hawk Field here at Canyon Lake. You're enjoying Canyon Lake football right here on the Hawk Network.
Wednesdays, science shows you why bigger is better.
The magnitude of this building, it's an incredible marvel.
These guys don't think small.
Definitely a little more dangerous
when it comes to living large.
I've got the best job in the world.
Building Giants, Wednesday at 9. Followed by Monster Ships at 10. On Science.
Watch Science. GVTC, Channel 518.
Minute 25 left to go here in the third quarter, and Wimberley's just blown this open, 42-0 on top of Canyon Lake this evening.
Yeah. Well, you give credit to Wimberley. A lot of that is because of their execution, but some of it has been just self-destruction of Canyon Lake, the Hawks, just not been able to, keep their momentum and their penalties and stopped them from making up first downs and possible touchdowns, drop passes. So some of that is self-inflicted, I think.
Well, a few scores to pass along from District 14 4A. Slam passes on top of Lorena, 27-14. Giddings all over Taylor, 41-0. That's with 4 minutes and change left to go in the third quarter there. It's Burnett on top of Lockhart, 40-17. That just underway in the third quarter. And Manor on top of Liberty Hill, 20-14 is the latest we have on that at halftime. Here's the kickoff. Nice job returning the football. He's done a pretty good job this evening returning the football for Canyon Lake as the returner, James Bates.
That's cool to see the young kids getting a lot of play time. He's a sophomore. Bates is a sophomore fullback. Did a nice job catching that football on the kickoff and a short field because of the penalty, and did a nice job on the run back.
Yeah, they're actually going to mark this at the 16. Looks like it's where they'll be getting started from, 17. It'll be 1st and 10 Canyon Lake from that point. Daybreak huddle. Here's the handoff coming near side. That's Rivali with the carry. It's over to make the stop that time. Nova Rankin for Wimberley.
Yeah. Still trying to hit outside the perimeter with that against a fast defense. That's going to be tough to do. And Nova Rankin, the inside linebacker, did a nice job staying inside out in his pursuit. Made a big hit on Rivali for a loss.
Loss of 2, it'll be 2nd and 12. Single receiver to the far side. Here's a give trying to come to the inside. Goes the running back. And
looks like Ravalli again stepping up and making a tackle. Yeah.
That was it. Little help on the stop that time. Renee Treviso for Wimberley. Back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10 for Canyon Lake as the clock will apparently wind down before the Hawks are able to get a play off to wrap up the 3rd quarter. And we got 3 quarters in the books from Canyon Lake, Texas. Our score, Battle of the Backbone. It's Wimberley 42, Canyon Lake nothing. We'll be back with 4th quarter action in just a moment. This is Canyon Lake football, and this is the Hawks Network.
I will see you soon.
The filters are coming off.
Even though we haven't met, I fell in love. I couldn't help it.
I've sent $40,000.
Michael wants me to have a baby. Ready to open my heart again.
I really thought she was catfishing me.
I'm risking it all. You're crazy.
There's so much on the line. It's kind of hitting me.
Before the 90 days, all new, Sunday at 8 on TLC.
Watch TLC, GVTC, channel 553.
Back to Canyon Lake for 4th quarter action. Jeff Gandy and yours truly, Roland J. Reese, as we get set to get back to it. And here's McMullen. He's got a wide open man. He overthrew it about the 45-yard line as Green had steps, but I think McMullen just let him a little bit too much on that one.
Yeah, again, McMullen felt a little bit of pressure, and so he's throwing off his back leg. When you throw off your back leg, the ball is going to sail on you, and that sailed a little bit too far for Jeremy Green to be able to run underneath it. Green had nothing but green grass between himself and the goal line if he could have just caught the pass, but the pass was too high.
Elon to punt this thing away. Of course, waiting back at his own 45-yard line. Jaden Potts. Here's the snap low. Once again, he decides to keep the football. This time nothing doing as he'll get about 5, and Wimberley's going to have awesome field position this time. He's in on the stop on special teams.
I don't know if they give
Treviso.
Yeah, Roland, and again, I'm just assuming. I don't know if they give the kicker an option of calling that if he sees it, or is it called from the sideline? Because that was ill-advised to even try that with your back almost at the goal line to try to pick up a first down on that. That was way too far.
Unless you figure it's 4th quarter, you're down 42 and just roll the dice.
It's just a head scratcher as far as the execution and of the play.
Absolutely. Wimberley with the football on this 1st and 10 from the Canyon Lake 23. And the handoff goes to the tailback, Moses Ray. We'll move it down to about the 21 for a pickup of 2.
Yeah, Ray looked like he had a little bit of momentum, but Jeremy Green, the rover number 7, came up and made a nice hit on him.
And I believe there's a timeout for an injured player on the field.
Can't tell who it is. Do you see the number?
I do not. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get a little closer with the aid of another pair of eyes here. No, a huddle of Wimberley players apparently around the injured player. So we will wait for this thing to break up, and
I hope it's not too bad.
Certainly never hope that it is. But it appears to be a Wimberley player who's being attended to at this time.
Okay. Head coach and trainer. I like how when the head coach goes out there and checks on his player.
There he is. He's up.
Oh, that's Ray.
That is Ray.
Wow.
He's up. He appears to be favoring that left leg.
Might be a cramp. It looks like he's cramped up. That's good. I tell you what, he's been impressive here tonight. Again, to reiterate to those who are listening, Moses Ray is 6'2", 216, a sophomore. Came in with already 2 touchdowns, and he has a touchdown here tonight. He's playing a good football game.
2nd and 8 from the Canyon Lake 21. The handoff straight ahead. Banging out goes Jake Milam, who's in the ball game at running back. He gets down to about the 15-yard line, and that'll bring up a 3rd and call it about 4 for Wimberley.
Yeah, it looks like that time he's running behind Heath Shaky, and Colin Kincaid, left guard and left tackle, did a nice job just making enough for him to get a couple yards out of it because it looked like he wasn't going to get nowhere.
From the 17, 3rd and 4, 2 receivers to the near side. Here's McCullum taking the snap, handoff straight ahead once again. This is Milam. He'll be stacked up. Nowhere to go there as Sean Pendleton comes over to make the stop for Canyon Lake.
And Patrick Allman also came up as well, playing again that middle linebacker position. Interesting call here, 4th down and 4, going for the field goal.
Certainly are as they come to the line of scrimmage. This out of the hold of Potts. Snap is down, the kick is up.
We got a flag.
And a penalty marker on the field.
Nope. Sorry, affect you out.
Well, there we go. That's all right. 9:49 left to go in the ball game. Our score now, Wimberley 45, Canyon Lake nothing. We'll be back with more in a moment. Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
Something watching me.
These kids have a gift that they can't control.
I'm just really scared.
Now, former psychic kids are back to help.
The entities that you see, you're in charge.
What was that?
Psychic Kids, Wednesdays at 10 on A&E.
Hi, Tara. It's me, Laura. Sunflower 82 from Online Yoga. Yes, I'd love to get together for a class with you. Why don't we do a class at my place?
I'll send you the address. I live in the back, down the stairs.
See you tonight. Can't wait. Web of Lies, all new. Tuesdays at 9 on Investigation Discovery.
Watch Investigation Discovery, GVTC, Channel 520.
And Dripping Springs. Every time I refresh this thing, it doesn't get refreshed.
We need to refresh that thing. That's what the deal is we're back to live action. That's okay. But that's okay. We all need a little refreshing from time to time.
We need refreshing up here.
45-0 now as a 34-yard field goal just took place for Wimberley. And this kickoff will sail out of bounds at about the 25-yard line.
That'll tack on a few extra.
And the Hawks will have the football 1st and 10, 9:45 left to go in this one this evening.
Definitely have the starting offensive line and starters out there. See, Coach Drum's probably figuring out, okay, what's the character we have here? What kind of character do we have on this football team? Are we just going to quit? Or are we going to try to do our best and execute, move the football, and hopefully get in the end zone sometime before the end of the game? Punt went out of bounds. You have the option. You can either kick over or take the penalty.
Apparently they're going to kick over.
Yeah.
As Bates, along with Pauly and Horner, wait back at their own 10-yard line. The field is Wimberley kickoff.
Well, they're designing return right now because it looks like the special teams coach for Canyon Lake is giving them instructions. They have some sort of setup, but maybe a middle wedge or a wall on one side of the field, trying to generate a little bit of a nice return on this because they have favorable position after the penalty. Previous kickoff.
We're getting set to put this one in the air. We'll check on some scores here just a bit momentarily.
Since we've been refreshed, you mean?
Since we've refreshed.
Yes.
Since we're afresh. This one is being handled by Paulie at the 15, at the 20. Coming near side, trying to get out around the 25-yard line. He'll stop just shy, as in on the stop on special teams, Kennedy Strange. For Wimberley, it'll be first down at that point for the Canyon Lake Hawks. Well, you just hope you take something out of this game. Always something to take out of a game and build on for next week.
Absolutely.
As Canyon Lake travels to Smithville, which, of course, won't be an easy game as well. Be another tough one. First and 10, line of scrimmage is the 27-yard line. And that time we had movement, I think it was in the backfield.
Goodness gracious. I know that Canyon Lake, they pride themselves as a disciplined football team, but this just doesn't look like it tonight with all the procedure calls.
Yeah, they've had that hanky dropped on them quite a bit this evening.
Both starting units, offense and defensively, are still on the field with 9:38 in the fourth quarter, 45-0.
Colton Cunningham in the ball game. He'll come flanked out to the near side. Single receiver to the far side on this first down. Going straight up the middle that time is the running back Ryan Rivali. He'll bang out to about the 25. That'll bring up second down. As that clock continues to run now, just a bit over 9 minutes left to go in tonight's ball game.
Picked up 4 yards that time, not enough to get to the original line of scrimmage. Now you're second and 11. Back in your end of the field too. That's just not a good position, but it seems like that's been the position for Canyon Lake most of the game.
McMullen, the handoff straight ahead. Oh, and
nice.
He's got a hole. Look at this. He's off to the races. Touchdown, saving tackle inside the 10-yard line. Boy, that's that huge break that Canyon Lake's been looking for all game, and they just got it in the person of Ryan Rivali.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was that quick pop right up the middle, but you do it enough, you'll finally get that big one, and that time Rivali saw it right off the two gap, and he made it almost to the end zone. Showed some speed that time by Braden Wallace, the safety, running him down and barely making a shoestring tackle, otherwise would have been a touchdown.
Wow, line of scrimmage is the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal, Canyon Lake. First time we can say that this evening. As McMullen, handoff, coming to the near side, gets across the 10, maybe to about the 8-yard line, goes the Hawks running back. That is Horner on the carry.
Trying to get Horner around the corner. It's kind of a counter play. He gets the handoff and tries to go right off tackle. Excuse me, I forget to spit it out. I'll say it off the tackle. But I tell you what, the defense had that thing snuffed out.
Jeff, don't you just hate that when your tongue gets in front of your eye teeth and you can't see what you're saying? I hate that.
I hate that.
Second and 8. Here's the handoff straight ahead.
Well, when in doubt, do it right up the middle.
I guarantee you, Bates with the carry that time is going to bag it out to near the 5-yard line. Bring up a third and goal for Canyon Lake.
At the 6.
At the 6.
Big 4-down territory here, you think, big guy? You got 2 more plays?
You betcha. I remember when I played for Coach Landry, the play he would call in this kind of situation. Third and goal from the 6-yard line from Canyon Lake. Here's the snap. Here's McMullen. End zone pass. Touchdown, Hawks.
There you go. That was Ewell.
That was Kyle Ewell, and that's that big 6'4" target. Gotta love it. That was just, got to make them feel good, and that does make the Hawks feel good this evening as they get on the scoreboard with 7:06 to left to go in the ball game.
Absolutely. Play action pass, waiting for Ewell to clear the linebackers. being 6'4", 220, McMillan, all he has to do is just drill it down the back of the end zone, and Yule made a nice catch for 6 points.
Here comes the extra point try by Nash Young.
There you go.
Kick is down. It's good. 7:06 left to go in the ball game, but we've got a new score. It's Wimberley 45, Canyon Lake 7, and we'll be back with more right after this. This is Hawks football this is Canyon Lake football on the Hawks Network.
To the green leaf name is dying and it needs tending. I'm so tired of having this secret. I love you, James. As far as being in love, none of you care about me. The key to getting this church back? We have to leave room for God.
Watch OWN, GVTC, Channel 555.
There's something watching me.
These kids have a gift that they can't control.
I'm just really scared.
Now, former psychic kids are back to help.
The entities that you see, you're in charge.
What was that?
Psychic Kids, Wednesdays at 10 on A&E.
Watch A&E, GVTC, Channel 558.
Back to Canyon Lake this evening following a 6-yard touchdown pass. Quarterback Peyton McMullen to strong end Kyle Yule. The extra point is good with 7:06 left to go in the ball game. The Canyon Lake Hawks are on the board, 45-7. Wimberley on top.
Well, they're lined up like they're going to do an onside kick, but they don't. Oh.
Kick this one away. Zomedo handling it at the 5-yard line, the 10. Trying to get to the outside and does at the 20, the 25. Good special teams tackle that time by Bates. I like the game that Bates has played this evening, Jeff.
Yeah, he's played really well. It reminds me of Bill Bates with the Cowboys a long time ago.
Exactly, the 1-2.
Yeah, exactly.
I got criticized once for saying I'd have a team, a defensive squad full of Bill Bateses. They said, well, he wasn't a Hall of Famer, and he wasn't. Bill Bates wanted to play the game.
He played with attitude, and he had the attitude that nothing was going to deny him from making the play. And you have to admire a young man like that. He was undersized, undrafted out of University of Tennessee, and Coach Landry fell in love with him in 1983. He made the team. They tried everything they could do to cut the guy, but they couldn't.
They couldn't.
He hustled.
Give me a defensive squad full of Bill Bates.
There you go.
1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. And we have a whistle and a delay of game on Wimberley. So let's back it up just a bit.
One thing you don't want if you're Wimberley's coach is like Coach Warren, you don't want to see sloppy play because you're way ahead. You want to still stay sharp, engaged in the game and execute.
Right. It's a game of execution, certainly makes sense. And you want to execute with precision. It's 1st and 15. Handoff coming near side. That's a running back, Jake Milam. Takes it out across the 25.
And it looks like 16 Cole Schrader is now the quarterback.
Well, after a night like Cooper McCullum has had, why not give him the night off? What a job that young man did behind center.
He had a good game. Good, big, a lot of numbers, a lot of big passes, pass completions, and help his stats.
And right now, I guess the objective is just to eat the clock if you're Wimberley. So 2nd and 10, line of scrimmage at 26. Here's Schrader marking out the signals. Handoff straight ahead. Nice hole straight ahead goes the running back. That being Nova Rankin, who's in the ball game. He'll bust it out to about the 37-yard line, and that'll be a Texan first down.
Well, he broke a tackle. Rankin broke a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. I thought he was going to get a no gain, but he broke the tackle and was able to pick up the extra yardage gain that needed for a first down. And good hard running by the young man.
2 receivers far side, single receiver to the near side on this 1st and 10 from the Wimberley 37. Once again, the handoff Rankin, nothing doing there as he'll be met and wrapped up. Kyle Wharton in on the stop for Canyon Lake.
Good job, Kyle Wharton, coming through the middle linebacker position, inside-out pursuit, made a big hit right off the C-gap.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line. As that clock continues to run with 5:24 left to go in tonight's ball game. Second and 10. Schrader takes the snap. Handoff straight ahead once again. This is Rankin busting his way out across the 45 down to around the 47-yard line. Big gain. He'll be stopped shy of a first down. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
Well, it's been interesting to watch a little bit of a battle between the defensive tackle Devin Cordell, 6'2", 260 senior for Kenyon Lake. And he's been going sometimes toe-to-toe with number 77, the right guard, Ryan Rubio. He's 6'2", 290. Those are two big horses going head-to-head up there.
Battling it out from the 46.
It's been nice to watch it.
Schrader. Handoff. This is Rankin. Up the middle, across midfield, into Canyon Lake territory. More than enough for a first down. As making the stop for the Hawks, that was Jesse Horner. And new set of downs now for the Texans with 4:23 left to go in the ball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, we need to sit here and compliment your opposing team a lot, but that time that offensive line just fired out and just makes a difference, you know. That time Heath Shackey and Colin Kincaid just blew their defensive guys back 4 yards.
1st and 10 with 2 receivers near side, single receiver far side. This time Schrader the keeper up across the 45. He'll be stopped at about the 43-yard line. The defensive stop that time coming over to make the play. That was Derek Peters for Canyon Lake. Well, it looks like Wimberley will move up to 3-0. Travel to Fredericksburg to take on the Battling Billies next week. Battling Billies fell this week. We'll have a final on that for you in just a couple of minutes. 2nd and 4. This time a miscue on the handoff to Tommy Garner, who's in the backfield. Dropped it, but fell on the football to retain possession.
Well, besides a couple fumbles, that was the first miscue offensively as far as the execution I've seen tonight.
Hodge checking into the game for Hudson Duke. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Call it 9.
Yeah. The clock's still running.
The Hawks will fall to 2-1 after this evening, and of course, as we mentioned, next week travel to Smithville. 2 receivers far side, 2 to the near side on this 3rd and 9. Schrader with a keeper straight up the middle, gets out across the 45 down to around the 42-yard line. Be stopped shy of a first down, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, I'll tell you, number 42, Kyle Wharton, the middle linebacker, had a kill shot that time on Schroeder and just missed him just enough. And he was mad with himself, and as he got up off the ground, just kind of pounding the ground, Wharton just said, "Oh, man, I had a good opportunity. I just missed it." That's kind of been what's happened tonight for Canyon Lake. You know, you've been in position to do something, to make a play, and just kind of missed.
Several missed opportunities. Yeah. Of course, something that Coach Drum will, I'm sure, revisit and practice this week.
Sure.
As there's a whistle, and Wimberley will take a timeout with 1:50 left to go in tonight's ball game. We'll see if we can pass along some updated scores.
Yeah, time to refresh.
Absolutely, I'm doing the same thing. Don't want to give old scores. 30-28, Lampasas on top of Lavera with 4:05 left to go in the ball game. That, of course, in Lampasas, number 7, Lampasas Badgers.
Oh, boy.
Yes, indeed. That's a tight one. 44-0 Giddings over Taylor.
Ooh.
With just over a minute left in that one. Burnett big over Lockhart, 54-17.
Wow.
Just underway there in the 4th quarter. And at the start of the 4th quarter, it's Manor on top of Liberty Hill, 27-21, as we mentioned. Fredericksburg falls to Cedar Creek this evening, that was yesterday, a score from last night, 20-12.
You got it.
It's 4th and 5 for Wimberley. Line of scrimmage is the Canyon Lake 44-yard line. Schrader with his snap.
I could have called that play myself.
There you go. The keeper across the 40 down to around the 35-yard line. That'll pick up a first down. Great call, great execution, though, that time by the Wimberley quarterback as well.
Well, you just knew it was going to happen, the way the formation was. And the way the defense had to soften up in the middle, it was wide open for Schrader that time.
So checking in Seth Kerbo as he's replacing Kobe Goforth. Minute and a half left to go, clock running. Probably time to snap the ball just a couple of times. It's 1st and 10 from the 36. The snap, Schrader the keeper. Gets out across the 35. They'll stop him. It's forward progress probably at about the 34. Bring up a second down.
Yeah, nice stop that time by Derek Peters. Senior defensive end. Getting a little bit of play time right now.
Under a minute left. As we mentioned, Canyon Lake will fall to 2-1. Travel to Smithville next Friday night for a 7:30 kickoff.
That's the first time I saw a team wait for the opposing defender to get on the field and get snapped up and wait for them.
That was awful sporting.
It was 11 against 10. Go ahead and run the football.
Schrader takes a knee. That should be the final snap of the ball game. The Battle of the Backbone 2019 is in the books. Your final score this evening from Canyon Lake, Texas, or from Fisher, Texas, the home of Canyon Lake High School. The Wimberley Texans 45, the Canyon Lake Hawks 7. Final thoughts on tonight's ball game, Jeff Gandy?
Well, you know, it's disappointing for Canyon Lake. I think they came out and they were ready to play first quarter, but they had some unfortunate big plays happen against them defensively. They had a hard time being able to respond. And again, a lot of penalties and missed opportunities as well. Offensively, dropping some sheer, obvious touchdown passes were dropped. So that would have changed the way the game would have turned out. I don't know if they would have won, but it would have been a lot closer.
So, like I said, all left to do is regroup for Canyon Lake as they'll take their 2-1 record into Smithville next Friday night for a 7:30 kickoff. Wimberley remains undefeated on the 2019 campaign, and they will travel to Fredericksburg for a date against the Battling Billies, and that'll be next Friday night at 7:30. Jeff Gandy, till we can do this again, it certainly has been fun, as it always is.
My pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to be up here to be in the booth with you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us here along the Hawks Network. Have a great day, and so long, everybody.